So we will do now today web service program using Retrofit. So first we'll create a project. We'll see it next. So empty activity. So retro example. So then meanwhile we will concentrate on API. So by loading this, so we'll see the API. So here we have the API, total 3 APIs we have. One is the registration, second is the login, and third is the get data. So these all are the like using farm data, we will get those APIs. Let us load this API. Here is the first, we will concentrate on this registration part. So in registration, using email, username, email, password. So using these 3 fields, we will register the user here. So now for this, how we will do, will be here. This is the post request and using the farm data. This. So that we will see here now. So first here we will design. So from here, just I am copying this XML. So what I'm doing here is, this is changing as a registration. So first one is the name that we will consider as a username, mobile number. So name, here it's not mobile number, email. And the next is the password. So 3 fields. And this is the submit button. So here we can say has a register. So this is, so for this event data binding is also there. Now just project load. Once project load, we'll add data binding here and we will continue the next step from there. So in a builder Gradle, here I'm adding the data binding. Data binding enabled equal to true.
Spelling the full name.
DIN, DIN, DINs. Now here, where, so this is Java, right? So activity main binding. So something binding. Then here binding equal to data binding util dot set content view. Then here main activity at the rate to this. Done. So we map it with the data with binding. So now I'm writing the listener for that particular button. So BT set until means once we click on the listener, we need to capture the data, right? So that I'm writing here. So once we click on this listener, so this is the multipart. Normally in here, this is a form data. If in case of raw data, how will happen? So I'll show you in next program. So, but here it is a form data. So in case if it is a form data, what happens here now? We need to send the data in the form of multi-part body. So that is multi-part body. Multi-part dot part. So first one we are sending as a username, right? So I'm treating as a username equal to multi-part body dot part. So dot part. Even here also it is capital letter. So part dot create form data. So create form data. So here it is a this username here. Username is whatever we have created here. This. So this we have to pick and paste in this. So like same way, we have to write the next thing here. But why it is not coming here? Multipart body. So here, this is the email. This is the password, right? Added 3. Then now for this multi
సార్ ఇక్కడ లింక్ ఏమి ఇవ్వాల్సిన అవసరం ఉండదా సార్?
hmm?
లింక్
link కింద వస్తుంది ఇంకా కింద ఇస్తుంది.
ఓకే ఓకే.
So then here now, first of all, we need to add the dependencies, right? So for the dependencies of this, so retrofit. So in a Gradle, we have to add 3 lines of Gradle because for the retrofit, we need to add these 3 Gradles. So one is the JSON, other is the JSON to JSON converter, and next one is the retrofit converter. So these 3 Gradles we need to add here. With the three dependencies, we added here. Now it will come as an import. Now we need to import this text. So multipart.java, we have to complete this. So once we created this here, so here we forget this. So now here we need to write. So exactly username means what you are passing, that we have to define here. So that is objects dot so that is require none, not null value. So this one not null value. So where we are getting this value, binding that. First one is the name, right? Name dot get text. Then to string. So better we can do trim. Trim means it will avoid if any spaces between are last, it can avoid that completely. So this is the line we have to write here. So here also I'll write for this, and we'll change here instead of the name, it is the email. So this is the password, right? So add 3. So this is like just capturing the data from the user interface, right? So then next, okay, one more place. So I think here. So now once we capture this data, now we have to create a retrofit request. So in a retrofit request, here we have to pass the URL. So for that, what I'm doing here is I'm creating here retrofit equal to new retrofit. New retrofit dot builder. So here we are building a request with retrofit. So retrofit builder. Then here we are passing the base URL. So first base URL, I'll explain you what is the base URL. So after this base URL, here we are adding that to add converter factory. So that is JSON, because whatever the data we are getting, that is a so that is a JSON format. So that we have to convert into the JSON. So add converter factor. So JSON converter factory dot create. So we have to create this request here with reference of the JSON converter. Then finally we need to add the build. So this is the request. But here what we have to write, this is single line, completely this is a single line. Here what we have to write base URL is, we will treat up to certain, this is the base URL means all the APIs should be having in this particular folder. So we have to write that up to that it is the base URL. So I added the base URL here. So then next, once this base URL has defined here now, so then what we have to do here, we need to create one interface. So that interface, our name. our means whatever I created, that is means user defined. So I'm creating the retro interface. Retro interface. This is user defined. So retro interface, something retro equal to retrofit dot. So whatever we defined above, retrofit dot. So create. So here we have to add the same name again here. So dot class. So that is the interface class we have to declare here. Then now with this name, we have to create a interface class. So how will we create interface class? Here create a interface class. So it's the interface class as created here. So once this has created, right, this is not a class. This we have to change as interface. So here we need to change this as a interface. So within this interface, we need to write. So that is how we are doing. This is the, when we have the form that we can say has the multipart. So because of that, we have to import the multipart first. Then we have headers. So what is a header? So the first header is this content type. So what type of content we are sending? So that we have to write content type colon. So that is we are sending in the form of application JSON. So application JSON. Then this is the post request. So that post request we got in a Postman, right? So that post request. Then after this, here remaining part of the URL we will write. So then here call. So we have to define the call. So here at the response class, we need to create one response class. So that response class, I'm seeing the REG user. So now we have to create one user defined method. So that is, I'm creating this, I'm using for create a user, right? So here inside of this, what is the data we are passing? So that is we are passing the part data in the form of multi-part, right? Multi-part body. So this is, we are passing multi-part body dot part. So dot part. So that is whatever the we written there, that we have to write here username, like similar the next two components we will write. So how many parameters you are passing there, that you have to write here. So this is the first one is username, this is email, this is the password, right? So this we have to write. Then with this name we have to create a one more class. So we created a class. So this is also user defined. So what we are doing here is, see, once in a Postman, just click on the success. So success case, once you got a success case here, like, so copy this. What is the success response? How to copy the success response? Then go to browser. So in a browser, you can search with the, this I'll share you. So JSON to JSON converter. So here you need to paste that. Here you have to select this is a JSON and this is a JSON. So from we are converting this JSON response to JSON response. So click on preview. So this is generated like this. So copy this and paste on your application. Here you can paste But here this imports package name imports, and this I'm removing. Say this class also, we have already class up to this I'm removing. Then we can import this. So expose. We can means here what happens here, setter and getter methods for the each key response key. What is the response will come. So for that each and every, this is the setter and getter methods will come here. Right. So then after this, again, I'm back to this interface. So main class. Here we have to write the next step. So that is a response class as created. This is done. Now based on the response class, so we have to do some activity in our main base. So here I'm creating one call. So that is a origin response. So origin response means with reference of the whatever the class we created, so right? So the response call equal to retro interface. What is the interface we created? That is, so there we created a username, right? So that username. So what are the values we are passing here? Username, email, comma, password. So this is also we have to change email, password. Right, 3 parameters we have to change. So then once this has created here, now what we have to do? We have to capture the response from the server side. So for that we need one method called enqueue method. So within this enqueue method, so it can generate automatically the response. So that is a on response. This is a success case and this is the failure case automatically generated here now. So now here we have to check the value. So what is the response is coming, we can see here now. So just I write for the time being toast.getText. So here we'll see what is the response is coming. Just I added the response. Okay, so this is done. So after this here, what is here? Okay, end of the statement semicolon, we forgot. The next, in the manifest file, we have to add the internet permission, users permission. So that is internet permission. And one more thing we need to add here, clear text traffic. So true. These 2 lines we need to add when we are using the internet. Okay, that's all we need to run. Why this is error here? JSON cannot refactor. So this is done. Now we will run this one. So just I connected my mobile. So it's very simple steps. First is the type of template you can create, then retrofit declaration, create interface, and go to interface, and here you can add the respective data, and from there create the response class. So generate Pojo and paste that, then back to home page. Here we have to call the response method, whatever the parameters we are calling, then create an enqueue method. So like instead of 5 to 6 steps, the complete program will finish this. So in case if it is not a farm data, regular raw data, it is a steps will reduce here. So this will not require like simple steps we will write here. And even here, here also this method will change. So that also I will show you, because we cannot say like all users will give the raw data and all users will give the this format, right? So they will give whatever they want. So that's the reason we will see that. If it is launching. Now I'm entering some random data. And now I'm clicking on this closed, this closed. Okay. So here we forgot to add this next URL, right? So this we have to add the URL. So this is what is the next URL left. What is the left URL that we have to add here? Response, something we are getting the this error case is executing. So okay, so something error we are getting, so that we will see tomorrow continuation, then we can close this activity.
సార్ ఒక్కసారి వాట్సాప్లో పంపించాను.
Hmm.
యాక్టివిటీలో దాని ఏమంటారు సార్, ఈ దీనికి సంబంధించిన స్క్రీన్ కోడ్ ఎక్కడ రాయాలి, దానికి సంబంధించిన అంటే స్క్రీన్ కోడ్ అయినా కానీ లేకపోతే డిజైన్ పార్ట్ కానీ ఎక్కడ చేయాలని అర్థం అవ్వట్లేదు.
ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ మెయిన్ యాక్టివిటీ ఉంది కదా.
Hmm.
సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ యాక్టివిటీ అని ఇంకో పేజ్ ఉంది అనుకో.
ఓకే.
సో నువ్వు రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ యాక్టివిటీలో కోడ్ రాయాలంటే రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ యాక్టివిటీ, సో దానికి రెస్పెక్టివ్ ఇగో డిజైన్ ఇక్కడ ఇక్కడ ఏదైతే డిఫైన్ చేసిందో కంట్రోల్ పట్టుకొని తిప్పి క్లిక్ చేస్తే నీకు ఆ పేజ్ ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది.
ఇది అర్థమైంది సార్. నేను అనేది ఇప్పుడు ఒకటి స్క్రీన్ పంపించి వాట్సాప్ చేశాను, యాక్టివిటీలో అర్థం అవ్వట్లేదు ఆ పర్టికులర్ దాంట్లో.
అది ఇంకా మనం డిస్కస్ చేయలేదు, చూద్దాం. అది అదంటే అది విత్ ఫ్రాగ్మెంట్స్ వస్తుంది. ఫ్రాగ్మెంట్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్ మనం డిస్కస్ చేయలేదు కదా.
లేదు సార్,
అది
చేయలేదు.
నెక్స్ట్ ఈ వెబ్ సర్వీసెస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ తర్వాత అదే డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం, అప్పుడు నీకు క్లారిటీ వస్తుంది.
ఓకే ఓకే సార్,
ఆ.
థ్యాంక్స్. బాయ్ సార్.